going on, guys? So yesterday, that would have been me driving a truck for average money, average conditions, average everything, and then I quit my job. So today, this is me, full-time YouTube. So to be totally honest, taking this leap, I'm 1, nervous, 2, not sure that I'm ready, 3, really excited that I don't have to go back to work for an average boss. So I was driving the truck for just shy of a year. It wasn't a job that I ever wanted to get into or intended on getting into, but Drew from Cashed Up Bogans, he worked at the same place, and he turns around and says, "Hey man, we've got a job going, you know, are you interested?" I said, "No, not really." And he goes, "Well mate, price of living's going up, you're only working part-time here and there, it's probably a good idea." Spoke to the missus, she said, "Yeah, you should really go and do that." First 2 months was like a honeymoon, you know, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought, yeah, this is cool, I'm getting up, going to work. And every day after that, I've been so depressed. It's just been terrible. I've absolutely hated it. So the job itself wasn't anything terrible. It was just the fact of getting up at 4 in the morning, going and having no time for my family, my friends, my racing. Like last year I did 19 races. This year I've done 7. So, you know, I've had no time for anything, and financially I've been no better off. So when I started doing YouTube a couple of years back, I never thought of it as I never thought I could make a job out of it. I never thought I could make a career out of it. I never thought anything. Like I literally just, the highlight of me doing YouTube back, like I'm talking back around COVID times, was my son Clay. He used to sit there, I'd make these edits, and I had a Hilux at the time. It was all wide bodied, and it was a pretty cool thing. I'd go in the Wattigans and I'd make these edits, and he'd sit there and he'd watch them on repeat. He thought they were great. And so that was, for me, that was what it was about. So when I first started thinking about YouTube and video editing and everything, I was influenced like BJ Baldwin in the Recoil series, Ken Block with the Hoonigan stuff, like Jim Carner's and everything. And I started racing, and I was like, I want to do these things. I want to make these edits. I want to do all this, you know. And I went and bought all the camera gear and everything. It was cheap. I didn't have a lot of money to invest in this, but I got the necessities to get me started. Problem was, I was the star. I was the one that was doing all the tricks in the cars and everything, and I started, you know, going out and I'd set up a camera here, and then I'd go over the jump, and then I'd go somewhere else and put a camera and do a donut around it. You know, I was doing it all in a 1990, no, it was a 2002, I think. I don't know, it was a Hilux. Anyway, it looked cool. It wasn't anything sort of too special to start off with, and then I got into racing, and I was like, you know, this is cool, but I want to go faster. So we turboed it, ended up with a full roll cage, had all this stuff done, and long story short, I had to sell it. But never took me off my dream of you know, racing, and that's primarily what I am. I'm a race car driver. That's what I want to be. So yeah, that was the early content. That was sort of how this started off. And I never had any dreams or aspirations of being a YouTuber. I never thought that people would be coming up to me in the street and saying, "Oh, hey man, I'll watch you on YouTube. Can we get a photo together?" "Yeah, sure buddy, let's go," you know? No worries. Like, that's awesome, I love it. I really do. But that was never the dream, that was never the intention, that was never the goal. Now, that's changed. So really, like, the decision to quit my job and try and chase this full time, it actually came from a Dana White quote. Now, Dana White, I respect this man. He's a legend, you know, cool guy, and he's smart beyond his years. And he said, you are at your worst case scenario. If you chase your dream and it doesn't work, you can always go back to where you are right now, which is a truck driver. I have a truck license. That's as good as a trade in Australia. So for me, I'll never go back to the company I was with. That's a whole different story. I'm not going to talk bad about them on here, but yeah, never again. But at the end of the day, I can go and work anywhere. I can work for any trucking company in Australia because I have a truck license. So that's my worst case scenario. Best case scenario, this works. I make a career out of YouTube and get to do cool fun stuff with my friends and spend time with my family and bring you guys some awesome content. And that's what this is all about, is experiencing cool stuff in life, not just going to work to make somebody else rich. You know, I don't think I'm going to get rich out of this by any means, but if I can plod along and do what I've been doing, but you know, bring more regular content, then sweet. I think you guys will enjoy that too. So basically, a big part of what I'm doing now with this YouTube thing is I'm gonna have merch, and I've actually brought some down. I just got this in the mail today. I started to open it and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna open it on the camera with you guys so you can see exactly what it is. So I've started to open it, but basically these are the shirts. They're available on my merch store. Let's pull one out. Oh, we'll pull two out. This is all AS colour. Let's tuck this between under my legs so I don't go away, fly away, but here we go. AS colour shirt. Look at the quality of that. That's excellent. That's a really good print. What's on the back of this one? Oh, it's the Mazda, the burnout. There you go, look at that. So yeah, these are all my own designs. I do it all myself on the computer. That's excellent, that is cool. So guys, if you want to support me and support my goal or my dream here, support what I'm trying to do, jump on the merch store, go get yourself a shirt. Like I said, these are all AS colour shirts. It's all drop ship, so I just sort of upload the designs and, you know, and I just sort of get it and that's it. I'm not getting rich out of these guys by any means. I'm not making squillions of dollars on this. You know, the little bit of money that I make on these shirts, well, hey, if every one of my subscribers buys one shirt, yeah, sure, I'll go all right. But that's not going to happen. You know, even my mates are not buying these shirts. I've had the website up for 3 or 4 weeks now. I've sold, like, we'll put it this way, my biggest order is to myself, you know, and I've got heaps of designs on there. I'm collaborating with people for designs. It's not just my cars and stuff on there. It's you know, I've got my mate's cars on there. I actually just did a design. I'll drop it here. It's my mate Scotty. We went to GYG, and you know, I snapped the photo and I turned it into a shirt. Every shirt, every product on that website, read the description. There's a story. You know, I just don't just slap it on there and go, oh, yeah, it's a t-shirt. I'll put a story to it, you know, and I'm loving it. It's good fun. But yeah, so if you can get on there and support me with that, that'd be excellent. Keep watching the channel, keep subscribing, liking the videos, sharing the videos. You know, I've got a really good support network and I appreciate every single one of you. And you know, every single person that comes up and says, hey man, I watch your videos, you know, I stop, I chat to them. Shout out to a fellow named Rod. He was working in the trucking yard behind where I am, or where I was, I should say. And you know, he sung out to me and I had to jump off my truck and go over and see him. Couldn't hear him, I'm deaf as a post. And you know, he says, hey man, I like your videos. I stopped and chatted to him for 5 minutes, you know, it was excellent. So yeah, keep doing it guys, having a ball with it. It's unreal. So even just now, I'm sitting there with a GoPro and a fella pulls up in a BMW, named Josh, shout out, good fella. He pulls up and he goes, oh, sorry man, are you recording? I said, yeah, I'm a YouTuber, I'm just doing a thing. And he's like, oh, that's sick. And I'm like, no, I've stopped recording, come sit down, have a chat. I sat there 15 minutes and chatted to him, you know, that's what I do. But anyway, if you want to support me on this journey, like I said, buy some merch. And if you want to watch, this could be a train wreck or it could be a beautiful thing. I don't know what it's going to be, but you know, hit that subscribe button, follow along, and let's see if I can make something of this. But we're not going to know. Sorry, I'm going to put this back in first gear. I'm at traffic lights. We're not going to know what's going to happen if we don't subscribe and follow along. So thanks for the support guys, everyone that has supported me so far, and yeah, let's keep it going. And if you're wondering about the quality of the prints, they are mint. Look at that, how bloody, wow. That's awesome. Nice and vibrant, very thick. That's, yeah, but it's not like, see, it's not crinkling, so it's not cheap. You see those cheap prints that they do, they crinkle up. That's not cheap. So yeah, all these designs I do them myself. And again, like I said, they're not creasing up. They're not. This is not cheap vinyl or anything like this. Not like what I'm wearing, where it's like a vinyl cut. You know, I use this over here, and then move it over, and then under. Got a fishy from my boy. But yeah, you got heat pressed and whatnot. These aren't those. The digital print, good quality. And I hope you'd all agree, good designs. Anyway, thanks for the support, appreciate you all. See you in the next one.